grand rising to all my investors and stuff out there, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to another entrepreneur conversation show for today on this Monday. Yeah, we starting to hustle, Monday through Sunday. So you know what it is, guys, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. It's going to be a great show today. So today's topic we're going to be talking about is notoriety doesn't equal sales. Once again, that's notoriety doesn't equal sales. But before we jump into the conversation for today, you know what to do, man. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit on that notification bell so you can be notified when a new episode drop. And also smash on that like button so the algorithm know we dropping real content over here, guys. You know what it is. And also, man, another announcement before we get started with the show today. Invest Media. We just dropped a new channel on YouTube, our Invest Media channel. So definitely go over there. It's important for you to go over there, hit the subscribe button now to all my subscribers that subscribe to this channel and also the new ones that's new to here. Definitely go over there, hit the subscribe button because at some point, I'm going to stop posting new episodes up on this entrepreneurial channel, but I'm going to leave it up so you can go back and look at old episodes. But we moving everything under one umbrella, and that's the Invest Media umbrella. So we're going to have two other shows over there. We're going to have one called Entrepreneurial Pulse, where, I talk about other entrepreneurs, investors that's in entrepreneurship. They are very successful, in their endeavors of their entrepreneurship and they in investing in different things and what have you. So I'm giving flowers to the unknown entrepreneurs, the unknown investors, people that doesn't get the recognition or doesn't have the big notoriety like the Elon Musk, the Jeff Bezos and what have you. So I want to shed some light on other entrepreneurs because my goal of that show is to let you know you don't have to have you don't have to be that big tycoon of a entrepreneur investor to be successful in the game and what in entrepreneurship and what have you, or invest in whatever you're doing, right? So I want to shed some light to those that are successful but they really don't get that recognition through the media, through people, what have you. So that's what I'm going to do with Entrepreneurial Posts. Just let you know they have a post that's within field of entrepreneurship. And also we're going to bring on Invest Brand TV, which, that's going to be more side of the branding side of the clothing and what have you, or Invest Brand brand and what have you. So it's just going to be basically random videos giving you behind the scenes, day to day, or just giving you motivational, inspirational videos. So that's what we're going to be doing. So definitely that's why it's so important for y'all to go and Invest Media right now, man. Subscribe to the show. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and also hit on the like button, man, because, man, we're going to get this thing jumping off. But like I said, man, let's move on. Today's show, like I said, we're going to be talking about is notoriety doesn't equal to sales, doesn't equal sales and what have you. And I say that to say, first, I want to start off by, before we jump into the topic, I always use somebody as an example to use it as a segue to get into the topic. So we're going to talk about Beyonce, right? So I know, the Beehive gonna come from me if they listen to this, gonna be like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. You broke. You don't have no money like Beyonce. How you gonna talk about Beyonce? Look at you. You doing your show in your basement and what have you. You don't have no money. You broke. You dusty and all this other stuff, but it doesn't have anything to do with what I'm going to talk about. See, Beyonce is one of the greatest entertainers. She's a great entertainer. She's a great performer, what have you. But I'm not talking about the entertainment side. I'm talking about the business side of Beyonce, her branding and what have you, and the because we know she had two brands that really didn't go as well. So I'm just letting you know, because Beyonce has notoriety through the roof, but that didn't equal to sales. That didn't help her branding out. It didn't make people want to buy from her and what have you. She didn't get the sales that she expected to get and what have you. So when you think of Beyonce, you thinking like, hey, I know she's going to sell out anything that she has clothing, whatever she puts out there, she's going to be able to sell it. But that's not true, because it's a difference between somebody having a personal relationship with you, far as your music, what have you, versus business, right? A business type of emotional relationship, right? Personal is personal, business is business. So it doesn't, because you have a personal relationship with somebody, far as they music and what have you, and y'all connect in that emotional way, doesn't mean it's going to translate over to sales when you get on the business side of your career and what have you. So Beyonce, she had two brands, and the first brand that she had was, it was called House of Darion, which I think that was created between 2006 through 2012. So she had what, a 6 year span with House of Darion, right? So that was her first one, House of Darion, between 2006 2012, which failed to gain traction and was shattered by 2012. So, like I said, it really doesn't matter who you are. If you don't resonate with the people and what you're not offering, they feel like they can't benefit from them. It's useless to them, what have you, or they not feeling the design or your creativity. It's not going to sell. So they saying these are the three things they really said why it didn't last as long. It wasn't successful. They saying basically the concept was one of the things. The line was a tribute to Beyonce's grandma, and aimed to celebrate through women fashion. So the challenges was, that was the concept. Let me back up. That was the concept. The challenges was the brand was criticized for lacking a clear identity, having outdated designs, and failing to stand out in the competitive fashion market. So those were the challenges. The brand was criticized for lacking identity. So you got to have a clear identity of what your brand is, because if you are creating something, people want to be able to identify with it, because you want to make sure you are marketing towards the right audience, right? And you building that identity around your brand that people can gravitate towards and what have you. So with a lack of a clear identity and what it is and what it has to offer, what's the benefit, what have you, that's didn't help it whatsoever. So outdated designs. So if they feel like the designs you have is something that they've seen before, it's not something that's pushing fashion forward and what have you, or is modern fashion, or is something that's going to resonate within the trend that's going on right now, people are not going to buy it. Don't care who you are. You can be the well-knownest person in the world and what have you. That still doesn't mean it's going to equal to sales or what have you. So, and it said also failing to stand out against competitive fashion. Like I said, it wasn't competitive, right? It was the same old thing people seen. They felt like the designs was outdated. It wasn't competitive towards the other fashion brands that was out there. So the outcome of it, the brand struggled to find its niche and eventually fizzled out by 2012. So it had a 6 year lifespan within that House of Darion. So by 2016, she created Ivy Park. So when Ivy Park launched, it launched with Top Shop, and later it collaborated with Adidas after they moved on from Top Shop, what have you. So Ivy Park lifespan was between 2016. It was 2016, between 2016 and 2023. So the initial launch was Top Shop. So then that failed due to basically they saying that partnership with Top Spot, they basically partnered up with somebody that was in within the let me see, within the athletic leisure concept or field and what have you. So that definitely, if you launching with somebody, you want to make sure that within that field that you are with, because it's all about getting eyes on your product and gaining the trust of your customers and what have you. So if somebody doing something totally different than what you're doing and you do a partnership launch with them, they're not going to know how to get the right eyes on your product or help you sell the product, right? um then they end up partnering with 20 with Adidas in 2020, which that was the relaunch with Adidas. It had buzz, but eventually they said the sales dropped by over 50% from 2021 2022. So that's a big drop. 50% of sales dropping over 50%. That's a lot, right? So you definitely ain't gonna be able to survive with a large drop like that. So what they saying the reasons for the underperformance of the Ivy Park launch was due to competition. They said the leisure market was dominated by established players like Nike and Lululemon, right? So if you are going to go up against those two big athleisure markets with Nike and Lululemon within that market dominate, you got to make sure you have a competitive brand. You got to make sure you have competitive designs and what have you, because if you want to compete with them too, which we already know, a lot of the younger girls and stuff and middle-aged women, they love Lululemon, especially the younger girls, right? They love Lululemon. I remember my niece, we went to Disney. We took me and my wife, we took a family trip, took our son to Disney and what have you. And I went to took my niece to Lululemon and bought her something out of Lululemon. And when I was in there, I noticed a bunch of younger women in there, right? So Lululemon is something that I guess younger women they gravitate towards, and we all know about Nike. So if you're gonna go up against them two, you got to definitely make sure that you are making competitive design, something that's equal or greater to what they have and what have you. So and they said lack of relatability. So, like basically what I said, despite its focus on empowerment, the brand struggled to connect with consumers. A challenge amplified by Beyonce private persona off stage. So definitely, if you're not able to connect emotionally, like I said, you have your Beyonce achieved success in emotionally connecting with her fans due to far as the business, not the business side, but far as the music side, right? Because you got the Beehive, right? But far as the business side, she didn't get that same connection through her brand and what have you. So if your brand is struggling to connect with the consumer, you definitely going to it's going to definitely be challenging for you to be able to sell to them and what have you. Then they said product versus price, right? Products were often seen as basic or lacking unique design features, especially when priced higher than competitors. So this is going to be some of this stuff that she failed, her brand failed at. It's going to be within the topic. So I'm definitely going to go back over this, and this is some of the things that's within my within the conversation that we're going to have today, right? And this is one of them, product versus price. So if people don't see the value in the product that you're trying to sell, if it's like to them like, okay, the price is not matching the value, is not the price is not matching the value, right? So yes, it might be priced at, say for instance, 150, but the value of the product is perceived as only like $50 and what have you. So people definitely going to see it as you overcharging for something that's not even worth the money. It's not even worth buying because the quality is that bad. So product versus price. So that's why you see the sales dropped over 50%, because after a while people going to be like, you know what, I'd rather go over to my competitors and spend less, because even though it's Beyonce, I want to support her, but the competitors offering at a lower price with greater quality, right? And the other thing they said, it failed because of marketing. The marketing efforts were sometimes seen as uninspired or too similar to competitors' approach. So you definitely want to have marketing strategy, something that's going to be successful, something that's going to work for you. You don't want to copy off of somebody else's market strategy because it's not going to work for you, because people already seen this. It's something that's familiar. So you want to come out of the box. You want to come with something new that's going to gravitate towards people, a market strategy that's going to get the potential buyers to come and buy with you and what have you. So those are the things they said. That's why both of her brands failed, right? So at the end of the day, notoriety isn't going to equal to sales, right? Like I said, she's a great entertainer. She was able to connect with her fans in an emotional way far as her music, but far as the business side, she wasn't able to duplicate that. She wasn't able to connect with her target audience. She wasn't able to come with a creative idea to be able to be seen as offering something different. That's why I said in my last episode, opportunity gap. You got to find your opportunity gap within that market. And your opportunity gap is something that what your competitors is not doing. Something that you can offer that's different, that's going to benefit something that's missing. So definitely understand notoriety doesn't equal to sales. So let's jump into the topic for today, guys. To jump into the topic. So the first thing on the list I got is don't chase clout, chase trust. Let me say it again. Don't chase clout, chase trust. Being known means nothing if people can't rely on you. So the way for you to build trust is through value, right? So you want to focus on the real problem. You want to clearly show how your product and your service makes life easier or better for that potential customer you're trying to sell to, right? You want to be able to solve the problem. You want to be the thing. You want to be the brand that's solving problems of things that is missing, that people are looking for, that people want. So that's why I say it's important for you to study your competitors. Study the competitors, the top 3 to 5 competitors within that market, and see what they doing or seeing what they not offering. You want to see what is missing, right? You want to make sure that your products and your services is something that people can use, is solving problems and issues for people, right? Like, for instance, you get into a field where, a lot of times it might not be bigger sizes for larger people, right? You got a lot of brands that may not may not gear their clothing towards the larger part of the sector, right? So that's where you can come in and solve a problem. Okay, most brands might not have 4X's and up. This is something that you may be able to offer, even though, yes, it might be a little bit higher to get products made in those larger sizes and what have you, but you won't have a problem selling, because now you coming in solving a real problem that people that are larger sizes and they need clothes, because when you are at a large size, it's hard for you to find clothes, right? Because most of the sizes, the main sizes that people wear is neutral sizes, is extra larges, large, extra larges, and 2X. Those are 3 sizes that's very popular, right? So those sizes is going to always be out, right? You may have a little bit of medium that's left over, some of the smalls left over, but when you go to the store, majority of the sizes that's gone is large, extra larges, and 2X's. Those sizes are mainly gone. So you can come in and solve a problem with your product, right? And services on the other side too. If you are coming into a field, whatever you're doing, that's going to be offering services, and people are looking for services that most companies is not, offering, that's your opportunity gap to offer them services, right? Just like my wife, her and her business partner coming up with a home health business, right? So it's some things that she's been researching that most home health and home health care businesses doesn't offer. This is something that she can come on. She's been studying the market and seeing what is out there that's needed, that people are really looking for, what services that parents are searching for, but it's not out there. So she's doing her due diligence. So that's very important, man. Make sure you build your trust you build your trust through the value that you have to offer with your products and your services. The more people trust you, more customers you're going to gain, right? Because word of mouth is everything. Number two is focus on the right eyes. The wrong crowd won't build your business, right? So to avoid, avoid not having your product on the right eyes, you want to make sure you are basing this around a customer centered marketing, right? You want to craft messages around the customer needs, desires instead of personal recognition, right? You want to make sure your message is clear. You want to make sure it's the right audience that you are is your right target audience, because sometimes if you're not cautious, you might be trying to focus your attention to the wrong crowd, right? So now you spending a lot of time um, posting messages, content, and stuff, and it's not reaching. You wonder why, like, man, why my stuff's not really hitting? Why nobody? Is it the algorithm? No one's really biting on any of my posts. No one really, coming to my site. What's going on? It's because you are your center, you have centered your marketing around the wrong eyes. So that's why it's always mindful. You got to be mindful to do your due diligence and make sure that you are finding that right, you creating that right avatar, and it's going to be centered. Your message is going to be centered around that right group of people that you're trying to reach, right? Because like I said, each platform works differently, right? So in Facebook is more like auntie, uncles, grandmas, or what have you. So your messaging is going to be the same, but you're going to have to you're going to have to form it in a different way, right? So if you want to post on Facebook, you got to make sure it's the right audience. You got to make sure you're targeting the right people, because like I said, Facebook is more like auntie, uncles, and what have you. So if you're going to post there, you got to make sure it's the right group of people that's going to reach out, that you are centering your message around. Instagram is more like a mixed crowd, younger crowd, middle age, and what have you. So you want to make sure that you are creating your message around your potential customer that's within that group, right? Then you got TikTok, where the younger kids like to use. So different platforms work differently. So you want to make sure you are basing it around your customer needs. So that's why it's so important to listen to your customer, study the customer, study the market, seeing what people that's already customers within that market, what are they saying, right? Seeing what is missing out there. So now once you are crafting your message around the needs of your customer and their desires, right, it's going to be easy for you to be able to gain that traction from them, because now you got your message on the right eye. So now your brand or your services and your products are getting the results that you're looking for from potential customers, right? So you want to make sure you are building that around a customer centered marketing. Customer centered marketing is very, very important to do. Market to the right eyes. Don't spend a lot of time trying to market to the wrong crowd that don't need your services, right? So that's not going to help at all. Number three is clarity is currency. Make sure people know what you do and sell, right? So that's why it's so important to give the people an understanding of why behind your offer, because the more people get an understanding, a clear understanding of what you are doing, what you sell, and what have you, it's going to make them more comfortable and going to trust you more to become a customer or support you of your services or whatever you have to offer them. So it's important. Your why is important. So you want to know, why are you doing it? Why um you are giving them this offer, and why should they support you? Why should they buy from you out of anybody else they can go to? Why? So you want to give them a clear understanding the why behind your offer, right? So you can do this through, you can give them this through free resources, samples, and what have you. So sometimes people offer free little promotional stuff, so you can see what you have to offer, why you offering this, and they can see the quality. They can see something that can benefit them potentially, if they become a customer and they support you and what have you, right? Or depending on if you offering the service of what you do, you can offer free tutorials, right? You can have workshops or whatever you're doing. Some people have courses, right? Say, for instance, you are a credit repairer, right? You repair credit and people want to learn how to do it for themselves so they can potentially help people. You can offer a course, you can offer workshops, to show them, so different things that you can do, but just helping your customer understanding the why behind your offer will help them determine if they want to support you or not, become a customer of yours. If they want to take advantage of your services, take advantage by getting buying your services or your product, whatever you doing as an entrepreneur and what have you. So what I say, no, that's number 3. Number 4 on the list is be respected, not just recognized. Longevity comes from credibility. So the important thing is, okay, you like, all right, how can I become respected? How can I build credibility as an entrepreneur? This can be come through word of mouth. Word of mouth is very powerful because if you, or referral, right? If you have customers, existing customers, you can incentivize them, right? By spreading the word, right, of your brand. And that's where a community base come at. Because if you have a community, a strong community around your brand, they going to do the work for you. They going to spread the word of how good your brand is or your services is, and how much it affect their life, how much they benefit from it, and what have you, right? So this is very important because now, even though, say for instance, you can be recognized, right? You can have the notoriety, what have you, but if you don't have the respect of the people, that's not going to help you gain trust with people around you, right? It don't matter who you are. It don't, like I said, don't matter if you recognize. If you don't have the trust of the people, then it's not going to help. That's why some people um, build a community first before they even start their brand, because they want to make sure they build that foundation, and that foundation around your brand and your services is the community of people, because now you got people that feel like they part of something, right? So now the word of mouth is always is very powerful, right? You can have people spreading powerful words for your brand, positive words and what have you. That will help gain trust of the people. Word of mouth can either help you or it can hurt you, right? So that's why it's so important for you to become build your credibility up, and making sure you are serving the people the right way, right? Incentivize your existing customer. Say for instance, hey, if you have a referral, you refer somebody to my services, you get the next service off 15% off, 20% off. Or hey, if you refer somebody to my website and they buy something off of it, here go a coupon for 10% off your next entire order, and what have you. Whatever you want to do, this will help with people to spread the word of mouth, through referral, through word of mouth. Is very powerful, man. It's very powerful. So you want to make sure the trust, more people can trust you as a brand owner. That's going to help your credibility, and people are going to trust coming to your site because they know you are very credible. They know you are a person they can trust. They know that you're going to deliver whatever you promise. You're going to deliver on that. So that's very important, man. You want to make sure that you are gaining the respect and the trust of the people, because your credibility is going to give you longevity within the field of entrepreneurship, man. It's very important to understand that. Number 6 is connect with the hearts, not just the eyes. Emotion drives decisions. And you want to focus, by doing this, is you want to focus on a relationship, not the reach, right? Because when you are creating genuine connection through follow-ups, you can gain, let me put it like this, you can gain genuine connections through follow-ups, personalized emails, and customer care. And customer care is very important. Customer service is very important, because most of the time, customer service can help a business, harm a business. customer service can take a business out, right? Poor customer service. So you want to make sure you're taking care of your customers, and that's the number one thing. If you have a strong customer service and people feeling like you are taking care of them, any problems that they are having, you are making sure that you are doing your due diligence to make sure you make the situation right. You rectify the situation in a way that they feel like you took care of them. You took care of a problem that they was having. And anything can be an honest mistake, right? You can say, for instance, you can do your first 50 shipments was excellent, but you made that next shipment, which be your 50th one shipment of whatever you shipping out, can go bad. They can receive a product that you shipped out. It was perfect. It was good, in good shape, and what have you. But through delivery, it can get messed up and what have you, right? So things happen. But as a customer service, you taking care of your customer. You're going to make things right. You're going to make sure they get a replacement and what have you. And you can also do follow-up emails. People love follow-up emails where somebody buy from you, somebody you done service for somebody. You can give them that follow-up email like, hey, did you enjoy your service? Was you satisfied with your service? Hey, was you satisfied with the product that you received? Was it something that did it match what you was expecting, what have you? So follow-up emails basically letting people know that you really care about how they feel about the service, feel about them. You want to make sure that they are taken care of and what have you. Or personalized emails. You want to send out emails to your customers to say, hey, how's your day going? We miss you. Where you at? Different little personalized emails, because when you building that personal, it's all about the emotions. Emotions drive. When you can tap into people emotion, that drives people to want to come and shop with you, because emotion drives decisions. Just like I said, when it came to Beyonce was able to connect with the emotions of people through her music and what have you. So she was able to build up that fan base, build up people to be able to go buy her music and what have you. She have her own group of people called the Beehive and what have you. But it didn't translate over to the business side. When she tapped into the business side, created a brand, she wasn't able to tap into the emotions of people the way she did on the entertainment side. So that's very important, man. So you can be able to, you want to be able to connect with the hearts of people and not just the eyes, right? Because yeah, people may, like what you have and what have you, but that's not going to solely make them decide on whether they want to come in and buy from you and what have you. But when you tap into their hearts and their emotion is going to always drive the decision of a person and what have you, right? So you want to make sure you build in a genuine connections with people, right? So you can do that through different platforms, like outside of the follow-ups, personal emails, customer care. You can do that on platforms and what happened, different platforms they have out here, pop-ups and different things. So you want to make sure you are building that genuine, that business relationship, genuine relationship. That's where a community too come and play, having a community where people come and be within your community because they feel like they somewhere where they feel like they voice are being heard, they've been seen and what have you. So that's very important. So would I say that was number five? Number five. Um, I'm just gonna say next thing on the list, because when I get to going through these points, I lose the track where I'm at. Number five. So the next thing on the list is stay consistent. Right. Confused customers don't buy. So basically, inconsistent branding. You want to avoid the missed messages. Right. You want to make sure you are creating messages that are the same, but you're doing it in a different way throughout platforms. Like I said before, each platform works differently. Facebook worked differently from Instagram. Instagram worked differently from TikTok. So you got different demographics and age groups within these platforms. Like Facebook, like I said, you have auntie, uncles, grandmas on Facebook. So you might have to craft the message, the whole message, the identity, everything is still the same, but you just gonna word it in a different way. You're gonna do your content in a different way depending on, hold on guys. Let me So you're gonna do it in a different way. So you're not gonna do it in the same way as you do it on Facebook, as you're gonna do it on Instagram, because Instagram is a mixed crowd. You got younger to middle age, where TikTok you got younger. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely want to tap in. Well, TikTok may be the same as, and you might have the same younger to middle age on both platforms, but I think TikTok is more younger than what Instagram is. You got young to middle age and what have you on Instagram. So you definitely want to make sure. So mixed messages. You want to make sure you create a messaging framework. You want to develop key phrases, taglines, storytelling. Storytelling is very important when it comes into your brand, because your story going to tell your brand, right? And like I said before, Apple been telling this, been having the same story since day one. They able to sell their phones because people gravitate and resonate with the story, right? So you want to be able to create a messaging framework. Like I said, develop key phrases, taglines, storytelling things that reflect your brand, right? And also, you want to be intentional with every channel. Like I said before, you want to tailor your message for each platform, but make sure once the messages make sure the message is the same everywhere, but you want to tailor that message um within that platform, how that platform is, but you want to keep the message of your brand the same, right? But you want to tailor it in that way. So you want to tailor in the way of Facebook that's going to connect with your audience that's within Facebook. You want to tailor it in a different way in Instagram to be able to connect with the people that's within your audience on Instagram. And you want to do the same for TikTok and every other platform that's out there that you can use to market your brand message and what have you, right? So you also want to make sure you stay customer focused, right? You want to make sure your brand is always tied to back to the problem that you're going to solve and the value that you can bring to your audience. So definitely you want to make sure you do that, guys. Make sure you want to do that. So what I say that was stay consistent. Make sure you stay consistent with your brand message and what have you. You don't want to confuse customers. Like I said, confusing customers is a good way to lose trust, because like I said before, it's hard to build the trust, but it's even harder to gain the trust back once you lose it, right? Because people is already on the fence, kind of worried when it comes to trusting you. But once they start trusting, you want to make sure you keep that, because once you lose that trust, it's over with, right? It's hard to get that back. The next thing on the list is value before price. If people see your worth, they pay your price, right? Basically, if the perceived value doesn't justify the price, notoriety won't save the sale. So just like what I said when I was breaking down the Beyonce thing, right? Beyonce had all the notoriety in the world, right? But she couldn't but that didn't make the sale, because the quality of her product, that people felt like it was outdated. It didn't do them no service, so they wasn't going to pay the price that she was asking for, because the value of that product, her clothing, what have you, didn't justify the price and what have you. So you want to make sure that if you are going to sell something at a higher price, people will buy it, but they want to make sure the value they getting at a value what they paying for, right? Because you don't want to get something, you don't want to pay $100 for something, right? And you get it, and it's not, the value of it is not worth $100. It's only worth $15, $10, what have you, right? Sometimes we had that happen to us. We all had that happen. We may seen something online. We're like, oh man, this look great. And when you get it, you be like, this not, the material is off. This didn't look like what was on the picture. We say that all the time when we get something. Man, this didn't, the color don't match what it looked like on the picture when you seen it. Or if you buying from online companies and what have you, you might see it one way and you get it and you're like, oh nah, this is not, this value of this product the quality of the material is not the same. It don't look good and what have you. So you want to make sure if you're going to sell it at a price, you want to make sure that value is perceived in matching that price and what have you, right? So that's very important. So people don't want to feel like you're doing what is that, a switching bait. People don't want to feel like you doing one of them on them, right? They paying for something, they feel like it may be a value and they get it. It's not at all. So you want to make sure that value justify the price that you selling that your product at, or you doing your service. You want to make sure the service that you are providing for people is justifying that price, right? Because you don't want to go somewhere and do bad service, create do have somebody pay for bad service and it's not at the value of what they was expecting, of the price that they paid and what have you. So we all went through that too. We thought we was getting some service that's going to be of quality of the price that they was asking for, the value, and it's not, right? So you don't want to give somebody bad value, right? And you have them pay an arm and a leg for it, right? So, like I said, notoriety is not going to save the sale. So, if it's not of value, then they're not going to buy it, right? Just like you walk in the store and you see a shirt from a distance, you walk up to it, and first thing most people gonna look at is the price tag. Oh man, let me see. Then you looking at the quality, like this is not good, right? Or sometimes you're gonna pick up the shirt, the pants, and look at it like, I don't know about the. Then you look at the price tag, you like, nah, I'm cool. I'm not gonna buy this. They won't $200 for this. This not even worth it. Or hey, they want $75 for this. This not even worth it. I don't even the material feel like it's cheap, right? So we say that all the time. So you want to make sure that if you offering the services or you offering a service or you offering a product, you want to make sure a person is getting that value of what you are asking for. You know what I'm saying, guys? So next thing on the list is don't mistake likes for loyalty. Followers don't always mean customers. That's very important. Let me say that again. Don't mistake likes for loyalty. Followers don't always mean customers. And it doesn't, right? You can have a million followers, right? You can be somebody with a lot of notoriety. Everybody know you around the world and what have you. You can have a million followers, right? But that doesn't mean they're going to become customers. Go back to using Beyonce again because that's who I used at the beginning. Beyonce have a large following on social media, but out of all them followers that she have, they didn't turn into customers when she created the House of Darion, when she had the Ivy Park. None of them, I ain't gonna say some of them might buy the product, but majority of the people, the millions of people, followers that she have on her social media platform and what have you, didn't turn into customers, right? So that customers, like I said, personal, personal is personal, business is business. You have people that's following you within social media because they connected you in one way. But far as the business side, you haven't gained that um personal connection with them. I mean that business connection with them whatsoever, right? So they may not feel like, okay, I like this person because of who they are, their personality, what have you. But at the same time, your personality is not going to be able to sell the product that you are trying to sell to them, right? Followers, some people just follow you just because they want to see what you're doing. Some people follow you because they want to see you fail. And some people just follow you because they don't know why they follow you. They know you are just a famous person. Some people follow you because they trying to get other people to notice them and what have you. So you have some people that's, like I said, just following you. You got a lot of followers that's just spectators, right? They're not really there. So followers doesn't mean they're gonna be your customers and what have you. So don't mistake likes for loyalty because that's far from it, right? People can like this stuff all day long, but they don't mean they're gonna buy it from you. Like you got family members tell, oh yeah, I like that, I like this, I like what you, yeah, I like it, what have you, but they don't buy from you. You know what I'm saying? They not. requesting your services. You know what I'm saying? Friends, you know, so you have people around you, your followers on social media right now, right? They don't buy from you, what have you. So they don't mean nothing. It's at the end of the day, I can have 5,000 followers, but if I can, but out of them 5,000 followers, if I have 1,000 of them as my customers, I'd rather have that than have a million followers, right? And have a million followers and only have five customers out of the million. I'd rather have the 5,000 followers and the 1,000 customers that come with it, right? So you got to understand, don't mistake likes as loyalty, because followers don't always mean they're going to translate over to your customers, because at the end of the day, that's not the reason why they are following you on social media and what have you, right? That's very important. So the last thing on the list is turn attention into action. Turn attention to action. Notoriety opens the door, but your strategy is going to make the sale. So that's very important to understand that, man. You got to have a strong strategy to turn into sales, right? You can have notoriety. Notoriety is going to open the doors, but you got to have a sale pitch, a sales strategy behind it, because if you have a lack of a sales strategy, or you have a copycatted you try to use a sales strategy that copycats off of other brands or other services that's within the field that you are doing, that's definitely not going to equal the sales, because they're going to see that as copycatting, you're not being authentic and what have you. And they familiar with that. They already seen that before, right? So you want to be able to guide that attention into relationships, right? And especially with offers and what have you, because like I said, at the end of the day, you want to be able to deliver excellence, and you want to do it consistently, right? And that's going to get people to buy from you and recommend your services, your product, regardless of who you are. Well, let me say it again. You want to deliver excellent consistently, right? That's important. You want to be consistent at delivering excellence, right? So you want to be able to guide that attention that you get, and you want to guide that into a business relationship. You want to be able to nurture that into a business relationship, and a customer based relationship where people are trusting in you. Your credibility is up there. People trust you. People going to end up being loyal to you. They're going to end up being customers of yours, because now you have you turn this attention into a business relationship, to the point where people become, how can I say this? People become emotionally connected to you, right? To go back to the emotional side. Now you building that emotional connection with them, far as a business, as a customer related relationship. Now they become a customer of yours, because now they emotionally attached to your brand. They're emotionally attached to your brand story. They're emotionally attached to your products or your services, because it's giving them something that of value, something they can benefit from. So that's very important to understand that, man. Turn attention into action. And by doing that, is you want to be able to guide that attention into a relationship. And you can do it with offers, to where now they can trust you. Different things that you can do, man, to making sure you able to, whatever strategy that you formate, whatever strategy that you come up with, you want to make sure it's a strategy that's going to turn it into that intention into possibly sales, because now you are creating business relationships, and people are mostly attached to your brand or your service or whatever you have to offer. So delivering excellence on a consistent level, consistently, will always, man, get you reoccurring customers and gain you new customers, for people that's looking for something that can benefit and add value to their lives, guys. You know what it is, man. So that is the show for today, man. Remember, man, notoriety doesn't equal sales, guys. Understand that. So you want to make sure that you are doing things that's going to help you make the sales that you are looking for as an entrepreneur. So hopefully, man, these things on this list help you out, get you going on the right track, get you to understand to why, if you feel like, okay, I'm this important person, I got a lot of love within my city, within my community, within my neighborhood, within my area, but I'm having a hard time selling to people. Why people not buying from me? So now, hopefully, this give you a clear understanding to why they probably not buying from you, why they're not really gravitating towards you, because you haven't built that relationship with them on a business side to make them feel like they should be a customer of yours. You want to build that emotional connection with them and what have you. So thank y'all for tapping in and what have you for today. And also, don't forget, man, go over to Invest Media. Go over to Invest Media right now. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and also smash on that like button so that I can really know we're dropping real content over here. Remember, guys, we're going pretty soon. I'm not going to be dropping the entrepreneur conversation episodes on this channel no more. It's going to go Invest Media, and also be looking out for the entrepreneur post. It's going to be a great first show that we're going to have on that. So definitely, guys, man, thank y'all for tapping in, man, and I'll see y'all next week. Yup.